Hanging up on my desk here at Drexel, I have a poster that reads, "Everything is figure outable." It's a cheesy catchphrase, but it's had a tremendous impact on my life. I am a dancer. I have been a dancer for 19 and a half years, and throughout those years, I've reached some exceptional goals, winning 6 regional titles and 4 national titles on my own, to now today being a captain of our Division I dance team here at Drexel. Dance has always been a huge passion of mine. From a young age, I worked so hard to become the best dancer that I could. Now, as much as my family loved to watch me grow and succeed in the sport, they could not afford to keep me in it financially. I remember when I was about 12 years old, my dad sat me down and he asked me, "How passionate are you about dance?" I laughed. I told him I couldn't live without dance. I couldn't imagine myself doing anything. If you are a dancer or you know a dancer, you know how much time and dedication goes into the sport and the art. My dad told me, if this is something that you're truly passionate about, we can figure it out. Anything is figure outable. So that's what we did. From when I was 12 years old to 18 years old, my dad and I would spend every Sunday night at my dance studio, cleaning the entire place. We'd mop the floors, we'd wipe the mirrors, we took out the trash. I even got some extra practice time into while I was there. We did this in exchange for dance tuition, allowing me to pursue something that I was truly passionate about. About 6 years later, a similar situation occurred when I decided I wanted to go to college. I wanted to become a TV meteorologist. That was my dream. Now again, financially, the numbers were not crunching. But my dad said, "Paige, if this is something you're truly passionate about, we can figure it out. Anything is figure outable." So my dad did. He got a job at Drexel University, allowing my 2 sisters and I to attend college, saving us from years of drowning in debt, allowing us to pursue something we were truly passionate about, an opportunity we otherwise would not have had. About 2 years ago, a similar situation occurred. After I began my studies in meteorology and journalism, I also started researching and reporting on sustainability for Drexel's TV show, Inside Ambition. From this, I became hyper-aware of the everyday waste that I was polluting. I was doing research on individual waste, and I realized that a majority of my waste was coming from my cosmetics. I have been wearing makeup since I was 8 years old because of dance. I learned how to put on fake eyelashes before I learned how to drive, and if you've ever attempted that before, you can vouch for me in saying that's not an easy thing to do. Now, makeup and sustainability were 2 things I was extremely passionate about. I remember filming for Drexel TV, pressing record, and preaching to my peers about how to be sustainable and how to reduce your eco-imprint. And then I'd stop the cameras and step off and realize that I had this overbearing weight of guilt, understanding how much a passion of mine was causing waste and harm to our environment. I realized that I was going through around 3 to 5 mascaras every single year. Now, considering the time that I've been wearing makeup, that's around 40 to 65 mascara containers that I've thrown out in my lifetime. Again, that might not seem like a significant number, but what if I told you there are an estimated 106 million daily mascara users in the United States alone? Now, mascara, after you open it, is only usable for 6 to 12 months. So that is at the very least 212 million added plastic mascara containers into our landfills every single year. And plastic, as we know, is one of the hardest ways to decompose. It releases toxic pollutants into our atmosphere as it decays. Plastic mascara containers can individually take up to 500 years to decompose, and in doing so, release a powerful greenhouse gas called methane. After realizing this, I was devastated. I could not continue pursuing 2 extreme passions of mine, makeup and sustainability, knowing how much they were harming one another. There had to be a solution. So for my own moral healing, I went to look for a product that was more sustainable online. Now, the only thing that I came to that was more sustainable because it was waste-free was a DIY mascara recipe that you could make your own mascara at home. I thought I'd try it out until I read the comments and the disclaimer and realized that it's not recommended for people with sensitive skin, like myself. I was so frustrated. Why do we continuously have to sacrifice sustainability for quality? Time and time again, I find myself deciding between two products, one that's sustainable and one that's a better quality. I knew that I had to do something about it, and I knew there was a better solution out there. It just didn't exist yet. Now, every entrepreneur has their aha moment where they realize something they're about to do is going to change the course of their life. And this was mine. How could I, a 19-year-old college student, solve this issue? Well, I heard my dad in the back of my head say, Paige, if you're truly passionate about it, you can figure it out. Everything is figure-outable. And that's when I thought of my own idea and invention, the dissolving mascara tablet. What if there was a formula for mascara that held the shape of a tablet and was water-soluble, allowing you to refill and replenish your makeup rather than buying a new unit each time? Now, the container would also have to be sustainable, something that's durable and reusable, a waste-free process. That was a pretty cool idea, right? I was pretty excited about it. I thought it had to exist already, so I searched, and I searched, and I searched, and the only place that this crazy idea existed was in my head. So I thought, what can I do about this? How can I make this? There must be some way, right? I was determined and passionate about it. The only thing in my way were my bank account and my experience. I had no idea how to formulate cosmetics. I had no idea how to create a product, and I certainly had no money to pay someone to do it for me. So I said, what if I just started with a prototype, just to see if the idea works? My roommate and I headed to CVS that night. We got all the ingredients together that we could think of that would go in a mascara, totaling to about $22. My card declined at checkout. My roommate, Taylor, offered to spot me, and I told her, once I figure this out, I got your back and more. Everything is figure-outable. That night, I went home to our apartment, spent 12 hours formulating this crazy invention, researching about mascara, ruining my security deposit with mascara residue, and inventing the first ever dissolving mascara tablet. I did it. I tried it, I put it on my own eyes, it worked. Nothing bad happened. I was so excited. I was so proud of it, showing my roommates, look what I just made. They were like, oh, great, Paige. Then I came to a point, okay, I have this idea. I still don't know how to create a product, and I have no understanding of what it takes to create a business, and still no money to do it. What resources do I have around me right now that I could take advantage of that would help me pursue this? Now, did you know that Drexel has an entrepreneurship co-op scholarship that allows a student to work on their business full-time and awarding them a grant to do so? As soon as I found out about this, within 2 weeks, I had my executive summary done, my pitch deck done, my business was created. I was ready. I stood up in front of a panel of executives in the Close School of Entrepreneurship, and I pitched to them this idea, and I got the scholarship. All of my problems were solved. I had the money now and the time to work on this idea. I remember I was so excited for my first day of co-op. I bought myself a brand new outfit. I showed up to the office. I sat down at my brand new desk, and I looked around, and I thought, who let me here? I have no idea what I'm doing. I have no idea how to create a cosmetic product. I have no idea how to engineer something or create a business. I am not qualified for this at all. I remember looking at my desk partner and telling her about my problems and how I didn't know what I was supposed to do and I was hired to do it. And she said, well, you can start with something. Do you know how to CAD engineer? said, certainly not. She said, well, I could teach you. There's this platform, super easy for beginners. It's called Tinkercad. You can use it and create a 3D rendition of your container, so you can make it in real life. Perfect. I spent the next 2 weeks dedicating myself to Tinkercad. I was obsessed with it. I taught myself how to make a 3D rendition of my product, my container. I had prototypes printing, it was working, I had a lot of failures, a lot of things that didn't work. I taught myself cosmetic chemistry. I was working on what actually went into mascara formulas. I spent the next 6 months of this co-op teaching myself how to figure it out. Now, I embraced failure during this point. Failure was my biggest mentor during this co-op. I failed so many times trying to create this product and put it onto my eyes, trying to design my own product and print it out. But now, standing before you today, that CVS idea that I had is now an FDA-compliant, vegan, organic, cruelty-free mascara formula. And it works. It does what I sought out to do. It's water-soluble. It allows you to refill rather than buy a new unit each time. The container that I created is now patent pending. It is dishwasher safe. It creates a complete waste-free process. I went from declining my debit card at checkout 2 years ago to now having raised over $70,000 in grant funding for this business. The failure in front of me was inevitable. The doubts and the risks were pounding on me, and they were sure enough to make me quit. But I just kept telling myself, you can figure it out. Everything is figure-outable. Every step that didn't work, every failure, was actually a redirection into what I needed to do and where I needed to be. Saying yes to yourself, especially as a college student, is so important. It could literally change the world and change your life like it did to mine. Embracing failure and using it as education and inspiration rather than a reason to quit is so important. It can change the world and it can change your life. Now, nobody can write the story of your life for you or give you instructions on how to do it. Ben Franklin did not have instructions when he discovered electricity. Vincent van Gogh did not use a paint-by-numbers technique when he created the Starry Night. And I myself did not have a chemistry background when I invented an FDA-approved formula. It's up to you to pick up the pen and paper and write your own instructions. Anything is figure-outable.